Hi guys, it's Luetin here, and today I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about the channel. And I've been thinking about the channel lots this week and in general at the moment. And I guess today was just not a particularly good day today. And I want to say to begin with how I appreciate all the supportive notes and messages people were sending me. I think one of the first things that I've really thought and come to the conclusion of this evening was that YouTube's a funny thing, and there's a lot of cynical people around in terms of thinking about why people do YouTube, and some of those people are right. You know, there's a lot of people out there who do YouTube for the money, some of them with no, some people are very open about it, like, they're like, this is my job, this is what I do. That's absolutely fine, if people want to do that. But the thing is, sometimes you can get confused when they see people's channels and people going like, oh, not happy with how things are going, and they write you off. They say, oh, you're only doing it for the money or whatever. It's not so much that. And I guess for me, what frustrates me sometimes is that I try really hard to do content, and I try to find topics and I try to choose games that mean a lot to me or that I think are really important. So when I put them out and those things don't do very well, that's kind of frustrating for me, because it's not because I want things to do really well so that I can have this pseudo YouTube fame or so that I can make tons of money out of it, which again, you really don't. It's not about that at all. It's because the things that I'm talking about, or the games that I'm playing, or the games that I'm choosing to play, are really, really important to me. And that might sound kind of silly, but for someone like myself, who has played such a massive quantity of games, and to me, like, gaming is just really important. That might sound kind of silly, but it is. It's a big thing for me. It's something that I just really, really enjoy. Some people are passionate about different things, some people are really passionate about music. I'm really passionate about gaming. I just love absolutely everything about it. So for me, when it feels like I'm not getting anywhere, it's not even that. It's like it's the fact that I can't I want to be sharing more of the content with more people, and I want them to enjoy it the way that I enjoy it. And that's really why I do most of the stuff that I do in the first place, is because I'm trying to help, like, all the tactics stuff. It's not like I'm just like, oh, I'm good at that, so I'll do it, It's not like that's my best thing, so I'll do it. That's not what it is. I do the tactics stuff because I think that's the most useful and most helpful way that I can do stuff to do with Battlefield. Like, as I've said before, I don't think that weapons and things are really as important in terms of analysing them compared to other things, so that's generally why I tend to not do that stuff. But getting back to the channel, really, I've had so much time trying to think about what I want to do with it, and it goes on, and I've had advice from various other people which I really appreciate. Level, I've spoken to him, and he's given me some good advice which I haven't necessarily followed yet, and that's not because he's not correct. It's because it's not because he's not correct. He's right in that it would help the channel, but it's more to do with the fact that there's things that I could do which would help the channel grow much faster. The first thing that would be is if I just prioritized the channel and made it all about Battlefield. That would help the channel grow faster. But I haven't done that because I don't want to do that. The reason I don't want to is the whole purpose really of the channel was to do different games and give people the opportunity to see these different games. And funnily enough, some of my videos have actually started doing better recently. Not all, but some of them have been doing better. Some of the Riven videos have done a little bit better. The Super Hang-On video that I posted just this day, that has done really well. It's gone up to like 400 views or something, which is excellent. The Pixel Junk videos, they've also been doing well. And as I say, this is it's nice for me because it makes me feel like, oh good, people are enjoying the things that I enjoy. They're sort of sharing the sort of games and experience, and they're enjoying what we talk about with those videos. The other thing is that when you're doing something like any hobby, and again, be it sport or what else would it be? I don't know, aquariums or gardening. Or I always use gardening because that's such a British thing. But whatever it is that you're into, building model ships or who knows what, you want to see, you know, the fruit of labor. You want to see like a result from what you've done, because people say, oh, if you don't, we come back to the whole just do it for fun thing. It's such a misnomer, seriously. It's like when people say, oh, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. It's never, you're making it far, you're oversimplifying it by far and away. It's not a case of just, if you don't enjoy doing something, stop doing it. Of course I enjoy making videos. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it, but it's not as simple as that. The fact is that if you put tons of hours in, and this is something else, I think often people who don't make videos don't quite appreciate how much time it takes to make them. And that's not any kind of defense, that's just literally like a fact, you know. So when you have put so much time into something, you want to see it come back on you. And it can be really demoralizing. Like if you spend a lot of time sort of playing and then you've recorded, then you have to go and edit, cut it together, record audio, think about how you want to make that video, export it, upload it, prepare it, put it out. So there's a whole process involved, which can be quite time consuming depending on how complicated the video is that you're making. And then if you post that up and it only gets, you know, a few hundred views or whatever, you're like, oh, okay. And then of course that video gets lost in a week because it drops off the list and then people don't see it anymore. And as I say, that's the thing that gets me, is I find it kind of sad and frustrating because I'm like, oh, I did that video and I was quite proud of it, and you know, now probably not many people are ever going to see that now. So it's quite frustrating. And as I say, the other thing is that it's like I've been doing this for a little while now, not the length of time that some people have, and the channel is doing well. You know, it's doing okay. The channel's grown quite well, but I would have vaguely hoped that it would be doing mildly better. However, you know, I've spoken to, again, people like In The Works, Jake, and they've said the same thing, which is at the moment, because of all the stupid things that Google keep doing to YouTube, it's really damaging people. Like Jake was telling me that before YouTube started changing things around, and the whole sub box issue, and the whole issue of the way people view things and stuff like that, he was getting a huge amount more, like, you know, as much as 60% more on his videos, and it's all dropped off completely. So it makes a big difference. But I think I'm going to carry on with the channel, but I am thinking about things. I'm thinking about, like, would it be better to split the more kind of let's play sort of playthrough videos into a separate channel and stick FPS stuff only within my main channel. However, I thought, well, if I did that, maybe what I could do is do like one playthrough in the background for the main channel, so that way people get like a look at the other things that I'm doing, and then they can go on to the other channel if they then enjoy that stuff, rather than constantly deluging the main channel with lots of playthrough stuff. I thought that might help a little bit. So that's an idea, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's just a thought out there, you know. But I think the last thing that I want to say, that I want to come back to again, is that the channel and everything about it, for me, it's not about numbers. That's really what I would say. It's not about numbers. I enjoy doing it because I enjoy doing it. I like making the content. I like reading all of the feedback. I like interacting with the subscribers. And I like sort of sharing all of my thoughts and all of the things that go together with that. I really do. But I think that's it really at the end of the day, is that it's such an important thing for me, and it's, you know, the channel is important to me, and having people enjoy the content, but not just about the content that I make, it's about enjoying the games that I'm trying to put forward. I usually spend a huge amount of time trying to decide what it is I actually want to play, because I don't have tons of time to play stuff through. In fact, the reason why I only started Dishonored is because I'm really sort of dedicated to completing things, because I want to do them justice. Like, I wanted to finish Dead Space, I wanted to finish Doom, I wanted to get those things done so that I could move on to the next thing, rather than just dropping them midway and going, oh, Dishonored's out, so I better get into that so I can max my views out. This is the thing, and it's like, yeah, I could just play games on release all the time. It would get me a lot more views and stuff like that, but that's not why I'm doing it. I want to do the videos because I enjoy playing these games, because I want to show other people why they're fun, what's good about them, and hopefully, you know, try and make a bit of an experience out of it as well. And that's why I come in with Dishonored now, because yeah, it's been out for a little while, and yeah, there's other people playing it through and all the rest of it, but I want to play it through myself, and I want to share what will be really awesome about it, and I am trying to do it in a slightly different way, so I hope that again that might appeal to people. I always try to do something a little bit different in the videos that I do. And I guess lastly, I just want to say I really do want to thank everybody who follows my videos, who supports the channel, and who's given me such positive feedback all the time. It does make a big difference, because I don't talk about myself hugely like a lot of other YouTubers may do, so I know that you guys don't necessarily know my mindset or the way I go about things or what's going on with me in general, and that is how it will remain. But I do really appreciate all the feedback, because it does keep me going and it does keep my morale up for making more videos and that sort of thing. So we'll see where things go. I mean, I'm going to keep making videos, I definitely will, because I enjoy it lots, but I may restructure things slightly. I may try and think about doing different things in terms of, do I split some stuff into another channel? I mean, that as much as anything else would show that, you know, I'm not all about getting the views and stuff, because start putting things into another channel would effectively reduce those views right down. It would make a big difference. But I think overall it could be a better thing to do now rather than wait until the channel grows more, and then it would be more difficult to do. I don't know. So I don't know, that's just one idea. I may not do it. I may just reduce that content and split it differently. I don't know. We're at this kind of crossroads where I'm kind of trying to decide the best thing to do with it all, and I'm interested to hear what people have to say on it themselves. I think personally it may be the best way to do it, because I could keep the new releases onto the main channel as a kind of, you know, I do this other stuff, it's not just FPS. And then on the other channel I could play more retro games and other really specific games, so I could do, like, you know, Final Fantasy playthroughs and other bits and bobs, other games that I think are really cool and little bits and pieces that I like and stuff like that. So it'd be a more specific place to have all that kind of content. But I don't know, I mean, do you guys like the fact that I mix it all in together and it's all in one place? I mean, I think that has as much benefit as anything else. So I really haven't decided. I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about what I want to do with it. And I guess I wanted to make this video just to show you guys that, you know, there is a sort of face to thinking about all these kind of things, and it's not something that I decide on like a whim. I really consider every choice that I make when it comes to this. I spend a lot of time thinking, okay, how can I do this better? How will it affect what people watch? Will they enjoy it more? Will they enjoy it less? Is it going to make it more difficult for people? It really is a sort of big thinking process for me, because I spend a lot of time thinking about the channel and thinking what I can do better for people, what's going to help it, etc, etc. So yeah, I guess that's where I am with this one, and I'll try and keep you guys updated about what I decide to do with things. But I'm going to be sticking obviously with Battlefield stuff. We got Aftermath coming up, so I'm really excited to be getting some stuff done on that one. And Black Ops 2 is coming along. I'm not going to be doing tons and tons of Black Ops content, but I will be doing plenty, because it's, you know, it's a title that I think looks really awesome, so I'll be doing that. But yeah, I've got playthroughs and stuff as well, so there's loads of bits and pieces going around. It's just a case of figuring out how is it best to split that and deliver it to the, you know, the people that actually want to see it. And this is the thing, is when you come to a channel, if there's lots of different stuff, that could be off-putting, whereas if you have it more specific, then people may find that easier. Again, I don't know, I don't see it that way, and it's all about as well what best represents you. And for me, I thought that the best thing to represent me would to show that these are all the different things that I do, and perhaps in time that could be a benefit. I've always tried to sort of stay true to my own sort of way of doing things, my own thinking things. I don't like to kind of crumble and go, oh, it hasn't really worked, so I guess I'll just do what everybody else wants to do. I don't really like doing that kind of thing. I think it's better to stay true to what you want to do. On the other hand, like I say, you're in this kind of horrible situation where maybe what you want to do isn't what everyone else wants, and then you're in this sort of bizarre situation where you're like, right, well, I do want the channel to kind of move forward, but in order to do so, maybe I have to sort of think slightly differently about how I'm going to do this. So it's a tricky one, it really is. And the other thing is, there's nothing more frustrating. Every day every day I see people commenting, why don't you have more views? Why don't you have more subs? Your content's really good. And it's like, well, I really, really appreciate the sentiment, but it never seems to translate anywhere, you know? I get all these people messaging me. You should see, I get all these people messaging me, and I get people commenting on the videos going, wow, why don't you have more views? And I've just found your channel, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. I really appreciate it. I love hearing that because it validates what I'm doing. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing something that people want. It's clearly something that they haven't come across anywhere else, and therefore it makes me feel good about what I'm doing. On the other hand, it's very frustrating because people are saying, wow, you should have like so many more views and so many. And I'm like, well, that would be really nice, but it just doesn't seem to happen. So I don't know. I think it's one of these things as well where I think it's just a time thing. I think unless somebody really strongly pushes you, like unless you get another big YouTuber who gets behind you and pushes your content, or unless you're with a big network who are willing to push your content, which will grab tons and tons of views, and unless you have that, it's just a case of, you know, just you got to lump it. It's just going to come slowly, and that's you know, the end of it, and not much you can really do about that. Yeah, you'll have some days which are better than others, but other than that, you just got to slog it, because without that help nowadays, there's just so much content out there. There's so many people trying to do the same thing. And this is why when you see these people who have 200,000, 500,000 subscribers, a lot of the time, you know, they've started when YouTube was slightly different, and it's very, very difficult. And I've heard lots of stories about people who have gone away and come back and not really been able to get back into it because it's been so difficult for them. So it is hard. It is hard. And, you know, it's hard sometimes, like I say, putting so much into something. And it really is, you know, I come back tired. I have to sort of think, right, okay, now I'm going to do this. I have to edit, post it, get it all ready, etc. So you put a lot of yourself into the channel, and especially when you're commentating, that's something which I've kind of learnt and developed as I've gone along. Commentating is hard. It's really difficult. Trying to think of what to say all the time, trying to come up with scripts, new content, it's much more difficult than people think. And when you're listening and just watching stuff, it seems easy. You think, oh yeah, he's just talking about a game, anybody could do that. It's not. It's really difficult, and if you try it for yourself, you'll see. A lot of people will find this is the case. I've been doing this for a little while now, so I've gotten used to speaking just with myself. That was one thing as well, was like when I used to do like World of Warcraft, it was weird. When I first got onto the mics and stuff like that, I used to have to get talking to people, and I was like, this is a bit curious. But eventually I got into it, you know. But then when I started doing commentating like this, it's even weird. It's even worse because you have no one to sort of feed back your commentary off of. You can't say to someone, hey, what do you think about this? That's why it's nice when I do these round table things, because I can pass the conversation around, and it makes it easier to kind of keep things going on. But when you're commentating like this, you're just talking to yourself, which is a curious thing to do. And if you haven't done it before, if you have some recording software on your computer, try it out. You know, just think of a topic and then start free talking like I am right now. You know, don't have a script, don't really have any particular thing. Just start talking. See how you get on. You might find it's more difficult than you think, and especially when you listen to it back again. See how often you pause, see how often you stop, see how often you fumble over your words and you can't think about what to say. It's quite tricky. But, so the channel, yeah, I am very pleased with it. You know, I can't deny. I feel good about it. I feel proud that I've put all this stuff into it and it's gotten to where it is. I mean, some of my channel views, like my reviews and things of the DLCs, have got whatever it is, 40,000, 50,000 views. That's something that makes me feel like, okay, I worked hard to get the footage, to cut it together, to come up with a really strong commentary. I put it all onto there, and it's paid off. And that's what it is really when you get good views, is you feel like, okay, it's, you know, it's like a pat on the back. You feel like, good job, you've done well. And I guess when you do your other content, you just want it to kind of reflect your overall feelings towards it. And I think in time it comes along, you know. I mean, as well, when you look at, if you go back through and you look at the views, I don't know, 10 months ago, compare it to where it is now, it's improved, you know, significantly. And I think in time it will. But it's just one of these things, you have good days and bad days, and today was a bit of a bad day for me. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. But yeah, this has been a little more of an open heart-to-heart. I would punch you on the shoulder right now, but you know, cyberspace. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, please give me any feedback and thoughts. Look forward to reading it, and much more stuff from me on the way very soon.